Prepare to get gas because it's time for the Week in Gear! I have missed doing this show. I am very glad to be back, and we have lots of sparkly new gear to discover, from vintage-inspired fuzzes to modern rock machines. This week is sponsored by Henry's Music. More about that in a little bit. Now, it's been a while, a real while since I've said this, so I'll do my best. Let's kick off this week's most exciting guitar gear releases with something that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's a fuzz pedal. Yes, first up, we've got the Earthquaker Devices Chelsea, a low-end fuzz driver born out of LCD Sound System's James Murphy's favorite heavily modded fuzz circuit, which I believe is a color sound bass fuzz. Please correct me in the comments if you know any different. The Chelsea takes that iconic, gritty, bass-heavy fuzz and distills it into a small, powerful package that is hopefully reliable. The Chelsea offers a straightforward interface with 3 primary knobs: tone, level, and sustain, so pretty basic for a fuzz, but it also has a toggle for bypassing that tone circuit, giving you a more mid-focused sound. Judging by the official video, this works equally well on bass and guitar, but I am very curious about putting it on a baritone, of course. Whether you're looking for a little bit of subtle grit or full-on sonic destruction, the Chelsea does seem to deliver in a kind of Big Muffy kind of way. The only thing that's missing, in my opinion, is a blend knob to sort of give you some of that clean if you're using it on a bass. I always appreciate a clean blend when using fuzz and lower ranged instruments. It's priced at around 200 notes and it's available now. Links in the video description. Next up, Gibson has unveiled 3 new acoustic specials: the J45 Special, the Hummingbird Special, and the L00 Special. These USA-made guitars all feature solid Sitka spruce tops, solid mahogany backs and sides, and a satin nitro finish for a more vintage feel. Plus, they all come loaded with LR Bag's Element Bronze pickups, so they are ready for the stage right out of the case. And yes, they do come with a case. What makes the Special special, Andy? I hear you cry. Well, Gibson have introduced these at a lower price point, and compared to the standard series, these are significantly more affordable, but not budget. There are a few trade-offs, however. Number one, the Special series is a less ornate series of guitars than the standards, with simpler artwork on the Hummingbird pickguard, for example, and single-ply binding instead of multi-ply binding, which you find on the standard models. Number two, instead of being mahogany, the Special series necks are made of util, which is a cheaper, more sustainable mahogany and far more fun to say, or mahogany alternative. And number three, the J45 Special and Hummingbird Special are concert depth. Put those away. This means that they're not quite as deep as the standards, that way, and they will reduce some of the bass response compared to the standard versions, which could be a plus, could be a minus, could be a pro, could be a con. Anyway, I see these specials as stage versions of the more expensive counterparts. A little bit like Gibson offering studio versions of the Les Pauls for use in the studio and the pretty standards and above for on stage. If I owned a standard J45 for use in the studio, I might want to keep it for the studio. I'm not sure I'd want to take it out on the road if I could get something more stage-worthy. This Special acoustic series is definitely aimed at the gigging musician that wants to have Gibson on the headstock and have all the benefits of Gibson rather than an Epiphone or some other acoustic guitar brand, because there are many out there. I've owned and played several Epiphone acoustics in the past, and playing them live often left me feeling like I was missing something from the more expensive Gibsons and other guitars that I had. The feel and the sound always felt just a little plasticky and a bit lacking to me. I think Gibson have made a good move here. I know, shock. And I will be attempting to check out one of these as soon as possible. We've got to talk pricing, of course, and pricing starts at just under 2,000 notes for the J45 and the L00, while the Hummingbird comes in at just over 2,000 notes, compared to just under 3,000 notes and 4,000 notes for their standard counterparts. So yes, it is a lot of money, but it is cheaper than the alternatives if you still want Gibson on the headstock, which would be just there. What's that I hear? Oh, it's a sponsor section. Let's go! We need to talk about butt tone. Henry's Music offers a wide range of instruments and accessories, including their butt tone. Yes, their butt tone guitar picks are meticulously handcrafted to create a rich and full tone. They're available in various shapes and sizes, including the Crusher, which is inspired by the Jazz 3 pick. There's also the Basser for bass players. There's the Folker, which has far more surface area, the strange-looking circular moon tone, if you're feeling a bit out there, and the Rocker, which have got more of a point on the end. I've got some winging their way to me as I speak, so expect a full review very soon. But if you need butt tone now, check out the link in the video description to Henry's Music, where you'll find nothing but tone. Wow, that was delightful. By the way, if you enjoy this often weekly show, why not tell a friend? Or, even better still, tell a stranger and gain a friend. Or a restraining order. It's win-win. Alternatively, share this video link with your friends on social media. Thank you. Now, if you thought there was just one fuzz this week, you'd be wrong. So let's talk about a beastly fuzz pedal, the Wampler Cryptid. Pedal genius Brian Wampler set out to create a pedal that captures elements of the Fuzz Face, the Tone Bender, and Big Muff, while still allowing players to sculpt their own signature sonic sound. Sorry, Brian. Basically combine all that stuff, but still make it fun. The Cryptid features controls for volume, fuzz, and tone, as well as a character control, which can take you from predictable, nice fuzz to glitchy, crazy, out there, rippy Velcro fuzz. There's also a chime switch, which adds extra harmonic content to the high end, giving your fuzz more clarity and presence without sounding harsh, and a tight switch, a toit switch, for controlling the low end response, which will shape how thick or how focused the fuzz sounds. Brian was very keen to point out that you can really clean up your fuzz sound using the guitar volume and the settings of the pedal, so if you've never found a fuzz that you like, this could change that. And if you love fuzz, but you have limited space on your pedal board, this could be one to try out. This Cryptid is coming in at a very respectable 200 notes, which for a Wampler pedal is a pretty good deal, assuming that you like the sounds, of course. Finally, we have an electric guitar. At number 2 is the Harley Benton ST-Modern HH, or the budget ST-182 with an extra pickup. Harley Benton, or HB to his friends, has removed some of the frills in the ST-Modern HH Plus, but left in enough to make this an exciting guitar. The ST-Modern HH Non-Plus features a poplar body, roasted maple neck, 2 high-output HBZ humbuckers, locking tuners, a compound 12 to 16-inch Laurel fretboard, graphite nut, a fixed DLX bridge, and 1 tone and 1 volume pot, and it has a coil split. So, compared to the Plus version, it's missing the older body, the steel frets, they've downgraded the pickups a bit, they have changed the locking tuners, I think, to still locking tuners, but different ones, and they've omitted the Babbage bridge, which I think was a bit over the top anyway, but they are only charging around 180 euros for this non-Plus model. That is nuts. They have stripped the color options back a little bit, so it is just seafoam green, Daphne blue, and black. But the seafoam green is also available as a lefty, which is weirdly cheaper than the right-handed version. And I don't think I've ever seen that before. Again, correct me in the comments. This is, of course, the non-Fender upsetting version of the ST-182 that was announced at Guitar Summit over a year ago now. And at this price, if you're into punk rock or rock of any kind, Harley Benton might just be delivering the best bang for buck high output fixed bridge Strat-style guitar for under $200 that looks a bit like Tom DeLonge's guitar. of the week. Have you ever wanted the tones of the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour era? Well, I have. And my pick of the week is the ACLAM Go Rocky Go pedal, which recreates the sounds of the Vox Conqueror amp, which was used by George Harrison and John Lennon in that period, and also into the White Album era. So, what does it sound like? Well, it sounds like the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour and White Album era. Or area. But yeah, unlike Vox's famous tube-driven AC30, the Conqueror was an early attempt at transistor-based amp technology and offering built-in effects and a very distinctive distortion tone that became a key part of the Beatles' late 60s sound. To be more specific, it's that honky nasally tone that's heard on songs like Revolution and Don't Let Me Down and I Am the Walrus, Goo Goo Gachoo. The Go Rock Go, Go Rock Go. The Go Rocky Go has controls for volume, treble, and bass, as well as a distortion level and an attack sustain knob for the fuzziness. There's another fuzz. That's 3 fuzzes in one video. There's a 3-mode mid-range boost for that nasally tone, and 2-foot switches for toggling distortion on and off, and switching the preamp between normal, crunch, and bypass. Plus, it very clearly features artwork inspired by Harrison's legendary Rocky Stratocaster. And I cannot wait to try this out. I have the Fender Rocky Strat, and hopefully I can get a review of this pedal online soon. I love that tone that they get. It's wild, it's out there, it changed the face of guitar, and it led into grunge and punk. It's not a budget pedal, because it's coming in at around 300 notes, and while I'm sure there are other ways to get this tone, I doubt any of them are as beautiful and compact as this. Plus, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I think it might be Helter Skelter as well. Let me know, Beatles fanatics. Thank you to the wonderful people that support the show on Patreon. Their names are up on the screen now. Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I saw you. Good to see you're still there. Thank you. And these people, who have their names on screen now, support the show right here on YouTube. Hello to you, been a while, and thank you ever so much. Hi. If you would like your name up in digital lights, then click the join button right here on YouTube or visit my Patreon link in the video description. And here's a special thanks to the top tier members. Alinta Boston, Buddha Blue, Boom Shakalaka, Buzzle, Dirk, Doug Paget, Hugh G. Rection, Yindrik Strelka, Johnny McBadminton, Mike Lute. This prank is officially sponsored by Jason Welch, Andrew Morgan, Gary O'Neill, Josh Tamberg, PQ Deads, Robin Kelly, Sarang Narayan, and Southern Panda 33. Thank you, top tier members, and thanks to all of you for sticking through and supporting this show during the radio silence while I've been at guitar shows since what it feels like December. I'm genuinely happy to be back in this studio and, getting back to normal. I have some great videos coming up in the next 7 days, but if I don't see you in those 7 days, I'll see you next week for Twig. Let's hope and pray for more guitar gear, and yeah, if not, then I can just sit here and we'll talk about anything, really. I don't know, give you my top 5 chocolate bars of the week. Actually, oh no, that's not a good idea. See ya!